Hello, I'm Robin and welcome to Modular DIY. Back in my little corner, I've got these interesting tubes to play with. These were sent in by Jolin Labs, and they've sent me 3 little kits to do that I thought I'd just give all 3 a go, just like that, because they are relatively easy kits in as much as it's mostly front panel stuff, not too much of the old component, pretty straightforward, and should end up with some interestingly weird and definitely naked modules. So what have we got? Who have we got? Well, let me throw you over to our thing over here and get that right. There we go. There's the website. So we are looking at the what does it say on here? The Tabor is this one here. It's an avalanche oscillator, whatever the heck that means. I mean, what I know of Jolin stuff is that it's edgy, grungy, noisy, glitchy. That tends to be their thing. But they've got this fabulously interesting aesthetic where they've done away with front panels. No more nice printed front panels. No, it's all sort of been crapped away. So you have kind of like the actual components on the front of the module, which is a really interesting idea, and it has a very unique vibe about it, I think. So I think that's going to be quite good fun. So that's the Tabor. We've also got the Ascolta. This one here, stereo preamp follower. Well, you know, it's a preamp follower. We'll work out what that does. That feels to me the least useful of them, but I'll give that a go. And then we also have the Goblet, which is the filter, which is, I think, the one I am most interested in. Goblet, disruptive filter, it says. That sounds awesome. I'm just going to get stuck in and see how it goes. Let's start with the filter one, because that's, as I say, the one I'm most interested in, which is this one here. See what I mean by this naked look? We'll very soon be getting into it. So let's find the build guide. We'll just do it then. There's no point hanging about. Turn the soldering iron on. Give myself a little bit of air. Across myself. I'll need some solder wire, might need a multimeter, and other little bits and pieces. Some flux, some cutters, and they've got an interactive bill of materials, which is nice. I'm not going to worry about that. We're just going to assume that what they sent me is what they're meant to send me. How do we get this? I don't really know. There we go. Right, in here we have, oh look, some rather interesting stickers. So I get some knobs, I get some switches, 2 great big sliders. Oh, that's a bit bent up. Sure that's fine. That's fine. Another couple of little bits. Yeah, all looks pretty straightforward. So all the hard work has been done for us. And we've just got this bit to work out. Like so. Like I say, no front panel. Although, kind of. It's cool. I very much like it. Whatever it says. Yeah. Right, weird. Slightly weirded out. Okay, cool. I need to look at the guide a little bit. Careful not to touch the surface mount components while soldering the other ones. Right, now let's begin. Okay. Trickiest part is soldering the optocouplers flat on the board. Okay. Optocouplers. Well, there we go. Which there should be 2. There is 2. Right. Optocouplers. So this is what it says. Straighten them as shown in the picture. Now I'm assuming that these here are optocouplers. So you've got a... Oh, I see. So these, I think, are having to go flat on the board as if they're surface mount. Interesting. Straighten them as shown and then cut the leads in half. So these are going to go on there, surface mount, and that's all it's telling you. You've got to cut it in half and get on with it. Right. So to get that on there square, yeah, I definitely need to take quite a bit off each bit. Right. Does it matter which way up they go? They seem to go this orientation according to the thing. The problem is getting them on the actual pads. Got to be quite wide. So, because they're underneath, they are not equally spaced. I wonder if that's on purpose. Well, I mean, all I can do is sort of twang it out a little bit. Twanged out. Oh, that's going to be alright. It's going to be fine. It's going to be totally fine. That side seems a bit easier. It's just going to be a matter of getting some solder in there and making that work. We like a bit of adventure. No, we don't really. We like everything to be really simple. Really simple and straightforward is what we really like. Okay, so how am I going to... What I need to do, I need to put solder on each pad. That's what I usually do. And then present the item to it. Well, let's put solder here. Let's try to do one first. Let's see if I can get one on, and then that's going to hold it for the rest, potentially. So if I melt that, got one to it. Is that good enough? No, not really. It needs to go along a little bit more, I think. So, just going to heat that up again, push it along a bit. Alright, that seems to be okay. That seems to be over things. Let me do... No, I'm going to solder the whole of this one together. To see if I can get that going right. That wasn't too bad. So you kind of want to heat the pad and the leg, ideally, without melting anything too much. Yeah, I don't think that's too bad. I don't think that's too bad. Is that going to fit in a similar way? Just flatten them out a little bit. Yeah, alright, same idea then. Good. Now flip the module. So here we go. Momentary switch, faders, jack sockets. Place a momentary switch, 2 faders, jack sockets in place. Check they are aligned and then solder them. See, in some ways the advantage here is that they don't actually have to be straight, because this is your front panel. I'm soldering them directly to the front panel. I'm not putting a panel on top and screwing it in order to keep it aligned or the holes line up. It just is on the front. So there's what? 1 switch, 2 knobs, and some patch sockets. Okay. There's a switch. SW1. Now there's no markings on the board to give me any indication. I can probably find what I'm after by looking at the picture. Yeah, see, look. It's a picture of it right there. So that's going to tell me where to put things, I reckon. It's not too hard, is it? No, it really isn't. I think I'm just sort of trying to make a bit of a meal of it, and I don't really need to. So this switch then is going whacking great big in the middle, like so. Push that in. Good. Got these two things here. Now can they go only one way round, because you've got like a single dot at the top and two at the bottom. So that corresponds to here, you've got a single pin and two pins, so it can only go one way round. Like so. Got this thing here that doesn't seem to have anything going that just yet, but hey, we'll wait and see what happens. So, oh, there's the pots to do. So we're doing this all first because it's all going to be about the same height. So when I turn it over, it's not all going to fall apart. That's my assumption at this point. So let's get these strange looking patch sockets. They all go in which way round? It looks like in this orientation. Like so. They fit in quite nicely, because I'm going to have to turn this upside down, aren't I? Okay, that's quite secure. The rest of them not quite so much. So I have this little piece of plastic that I use that I've lost. There it is. It's actually a filter for one of my lights. If I bring these up here, I should, with a bit of luck, be able to just rotate it over. Oops. And almost make that work. I almost did. Look, this one came out. Darn it. Can I squeeze that in under there without the rest of it falling out? What do we think? You know, I might have done. Yeah, look at that, look at that. I think I should just solder it and move on. Careful of the surface mount and careful of melting things. That's all of those, that's all of those, that's all that, that's all that. Bosh! Great stuff, lovely. Pots, place the 3 pots, make sure they're aligned, proceed with the soldering. 3 pots, there's a bit there. Need a little bit of a push to get in. Oh yeah, it's one of the pots there. Look. 1, 2, 3. Now these are a little bit amongst the surface mounts, so just got to be wary. We don't have it going everywhere. Is that all of that? Done, 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 done. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Looks all right. Caps and knobs. So with this, it's going to whack everything around to the left. So you've got these. Can they go in any sort of thing? Just says stick them on. Right, okay. So if I put them on lightly, have them all pointing in the same direction, because I've moved them all the way over to the left. So you've got like an equal starting point, which is the corner of each one. That looks alright, doesn't it? So I'll squeeze those on, and they go all the way around to the other side, like so. And they also want to put these little things onto here. They just need a bit of a squeeze and then a firm thumb. It's very dark looking, isn't it? Very foreboding, this thing. It's also got like only half a power thing. I'm assuming that's power. It just says whatever. I don't know what that means. I'm going to assume that means you just plug in anything you like. I mean, this is the power thing that came with it. It's like so. So does it go in like that? That way round? Or does it go in the other way round? Let's see. So check everything is soldered. Da da da. There it is. It's finished. Enjoy. Right. Yeah. Well, no information on that at all. Well, I'm going to put this to one side for the minute, and I will build the next one, and then we'll come back to working out what on earth this power business is about. But that is a pretty good looking module in its own way. So let's have a look at the Ascolta then. The Ascolta, considering we whacked that off in no time at all. That's not the right expression. We didn't do anything of the sort. We built a module is what we did. Built a module. Okay. See what delights we have in here. Oh, we never did work out what this was for. Oh, right. This will have screws in it. Oh, and an Allen key in order to do up the screws. Yeah. I'm alright. I'm all nerlies for that sort of thing. So don't need to worry. So here we've got some more of those. And some other bits. Those are not screws, those are something else. Interesting. Oh, there's another one. It's teabagged central in here. Look at all this stuff. I'm going to have to investigate a little bit further, I think. These are magical, these little bags. I love it. Okay, so in here I've got some bits. Definitely some bits. This one is, oh look, the screws and an Allen key. Anyway, we've got some bits, that's fine. Some bits over here meanwhile. Okay, we've got our patch sockets, some knobs, special patch socket, a couple of bigger knobs. This is looking a bit more common, I have to say. See, this one does have a front panel. Interesting. There's my board. This one I do have a front panel. With some stuff going on. Quick intro. Yeah, just need some stuff. Okay. Soldering. Listed all the components. Yeah, a bunch of things. Now let's start with the bottom layer. Back of the module, power header and such like. And we're going to be looking at this power socket, this thing here. This also goes next to something that says whatever. So it goes in like that, I think. And there's a 1x3 header as well, which is here, and that goes down this end. Does it go right in the middle of that lot? It does. Place a socket in the header matching the drawing. Longer pins need to point outside. Solder and check. So this is going to be, these are quite loose, so it's going to be slightly more difficult to turn over. You could just potentially just do it just like I did, just like that, because I'm an old pro now. Or something. And then let's see if we can give that just something to lean on. Then I'm just going to go straight in and get it done. Now you want to do one leg, try to sort of apply a bit of pressure so it's likely to be flat. So I'm going to do that to make sure it's as good as I can do it. Over here I'm going to push down, make sure that's also down. So now I'm going to try to not take off the soldering iron until I think it's flat. I've got a feeling I'm a little bit bent. Oh, I'm a lot bent. Look at that. Look at that. That's fantastic. Now the power one's not too bad. I'll go with that. This one, yeah, that's a bit kind of crappy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sort of put my thumb on it, or finger on it or something. I'm going to try to heat that up without heating up my finger, just to see if I can loosen that enough to make it straight. Yeah, see, that's much better, much better. Right, let's do the rest of that. Now, what I really hope is that I did that the right way round. Yeah, I did. The whatever thing, that's right. So this is on the back of the board. Okay, jack sockets, stereo socket potentiometers. So, okay, thank you, Cockerel. So, jack sockets, everything else goes on this side. Jack sockets, stereo socket potentiometers, wait to solder them, just place them all, and then we can do the next step. Okay, the next step will presumably be putting the front panel on. Now which way up does it go, do we think? It's not completely symmetry that way around, because there's a green one, and the green one needs to go in this top corner here. So if you look at the three legs on the pots at this side, the green one, oh look, it says on the thing, it says green. See, look, I'm trying to work it out and be all clever, and it's definitely there already. Now these look like they're going to be sharing that front leg. You see that on this hole here? So the wangy leg which sticks out the front, that's going to be shared on the other side by the other patch socket. So they are both sharing that hole for the wangy leg. The wangy leg is the earth essentially. Right, so that's all in. Position the jumper, black square piece of plastic, on the 3 pins header. Refer to the manual to choose where, depending on your normalization needs. Now, I get the feeling, right, we're talking about this header underneath here, but this is really not the time to do this because I've got all this stuff on here. So I think I'm going to be able to, once this is on, I've still got access to that thing on the other side, so I'm not going to worry about that until much later, I think. What a weird place to put that. Anywho, right, so at last, what? Put the panel on, check its direction, tighten the nuts. Got to make sure we get this round the right way. How do we know? Okay, so at the top, the green one goes at the top. This is the top, judging by the writing. I can also see that there's 2 little light holes here, and there are 2 LEDs on the board at that side, so that must be the way it's supposed to go. So just going to have to jigger it about a little bit to get that to fit over the top, like so. That all looks okay. Then we can put some nuts on. And it'll all be good. Good, solid, I think. So now I can solder all this. Now, interestingly, this one says, mind the polarity on the header socket of your PSU, that the red line is -12. But your module here doesn't give you any clue as to what's -12. So what the heck is that about? Made on Earth by humans and machines. Yes, and people who make assumptions about the power. Well, heck, I can just solder it, can't I? I think I can. So why don't I do that, and then I can worry about the power later on. And it still says whatever. It's just that they've now mentioned it, and that just makes me worry slightly. Can I make this stand up? Okay. Well, it's all good, I think. I mean, it's all in. It's a little bit wobbly. I think all I've got to do is solder it. Oh, missed one. Good. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Oh, right, that is it. What I've got left. So this is the jumper. So the jumper is going to go on here somewhere, depending on what normalization I want, I think. So I'm just going to put that on there just for safekeeping until we work out what that's about. I've got a couple of knobs. These are screw tightening knobs, so they can go on anyway. So I'm going to go on all the way to the left. Put that about there. I think I'm going to need to undo that. So I need a wheelie screwdriver. Pull that out of there. There it goes on. So I'm going to put that to that sort of 7 o'clock position. Do up the screw. Okay, put this on the same. Good. Right, so look at that. 2 done. What time is it? Okay, I've been doing this for too long. Am I going to have a go at the bigger one? Oh, well, why not? Why not? Why not? Right, so just trying to make a bit of room for myself. So I've got stuck me in one place. So I've got the Tabor black mirror version to go next, which I've decided I'm going to give it a go. I've got to tame the Tabor. Excellent. That sounds like fun. More little bags of stuff. More stickers, bags of stuff. This is great. I love the packaging. First class packaging. I could use those for all sorts of things. So a couple of little things. More stickers and screws and bits I'm not that interested in at the moment. In here. Ooh, more screws and a whole load of nuts. These are mysterious little bags though, aren't they? Ooh, good knobs. Look at those. Those are pretty special. Alright, a few more bits this time. Wow, that is one heck. That's one heck of a front panel. And then here's my board. Yeah, fair bit to do, but you know, not that much. Let's begin. So power socket, then front panel, then you're done. Simple stuff. Really, really simple. Because, I mean, all the hard work is done for you because all the surface mount is on here. So this is the majority of stuff. If it was a full kit, we'd be doing either the surface mount, or if it was through hole, lots and lots of resistors and capacitors. But that's all done. That's all done. So all we've really got to do is put the front panel stuff on. So, you know, it's as simple as they come, really, which is nice and quick. I mean, it means you get the opportunity to do a bit of soldering, feel like you've made a bit of a module, get the module that little bit cheaper, a little bit. And so it's all good, really. This one does tell you which way round it has to be. There you go. This bit here, this nick that's out the side of it, needs to line up with the mark on the screen print. So it's like that, yeah? Cool. I've just turned it over like magic. I'm going to use something just to hold it. I'm going to attempt to go for one leg, hold it nice and steady, give that some solder, hold it steady again as I release, and hopefully that'll be nice and straight, which it is. So I'll just get on and do the rest of that like an old pro. Right, front panel components. Wait to solder them, put them all in the right place, and then put the thing on the what's it. So there are 4 knobs. Let's find those first. 50k, 50k, 50k. It says 50k, 10k. So one of them is different. I think it's this one, B10k. In fact, there's 2 of those. Yeah, down the bottom. So make sure you get those ones out, the B10Ks. It's got written on it, yeah. So we'll put that down here. Squeeze that in. See if I can find the other one. See, that's got B50K written on it. Well, look, while I've got it in my hand, why don't I put it on? Like so. This one, B10K. This is going to go down this other bottom side. Ow! Booted into myself. Just brilliant! Brilliant, I say. This one is 50k, so it can go up here. This is 50k. Oh! This is why it's good to put the knobs on first, I think, because you have to push into them quite a bit. It can go wrong. Right. Patch sockets, thonky conks. You can see where they all are, and their leg goes into the outside bit. These are feeling pretty loose. Okay, so what I just wanted to check was that if I take these screws off, is that going to be the same height as the patch sockets? Yes, they are. So I'm definitely going to want to be taking those off. Yeah, so it just says put this on and tighten the nuts. Make sure you got it around the right way. Can it go a wrong way? Yes, because it's completely symmetrical. So, how do I know which way up it goes? I know that... I don't know anything. Alright, well, according to the picture on the screen, it should be this way up. So you've got this is high, yeah? And there is a numbers across the top here, which could be the right way up. Three, everything else is the same. Check its direction. Yeah, but how do I know what its direction is? Okay, so on the picture on the bottom, it's telling me that the power socket should be towards the bottom, which it is. So in that case, we're going to say that this top end is the top. So by process of some kind of elimination, we're just going to go with it. Alright, there we go. Everything popped through nicely. If I just hold this for a second. Although there are many complexities relating to the transmission of sounds at the point of reception, sound is readily dividable into two simple elements, pressure and time. Nice. Well, all the writing is all the right way up, all the same way up, so I'm going to say yes, that is correct. So let's put everything on, screw it all down. Alright, okay, nicely done, if I don't say so myself. So, we've just got all this stuff on the back to solder. It's all nice and secure, so all we've got to do is get on and get it done. There, that looks alright. It's one impressive looking front panel. I mean, it's funny, isn't it, really, that on one hand, on some of their modules, they do no front panel at all. But then on the others, when they do them, flipping amazing. Right. Big knobs, little knobs. What sort of knobs are they? Oh, odd knobs. Okay, this one I think requires a Allen key type thing. So I'm going to go all the way over to the left like so and use one of the supplied whatsits. Screw that in till it's on. Oh, I can't get it out. Oh, there we go. Good. This one all the way around. Try to put it on at a similar sort of level. About there. Looking lovely, looking lovely. So that's 1, 2, 3, all done in the space of an hour or so. 1, 2, 3. So now I think I best plug them in and have a bit of a go. So that was the build. Is that all right? Is that easy to follow? Think so? Yeah, not too bad at all. So these three things. Ooh, like that. So great, good. I'll get some gear together, put them all in. If I can work out how to power them up without blowing myself up, that is going to be a bit of a bonus, and we'll go from there. We'll go from there. Yeah. Right, it's time to test them. I built these three yesterday, and the first thing we have to do is just plug them in to make sure there's no smoke. All right. So that's task number 1. And then we'll have a play to see what they sound like. So I looked into this whole business here. I asked Jolin Tech what the whatever means. It's next to their power supply, and it just means you can plug it in any way you like, apparently. So I'm taking them at their word, but it doesn't matter which way up it goes, and this one, obviously it doesn't matter which row it takes either. So I'm just going to willy-nilly plug that in like so. Stick there, something to do with a diode bridge, I don't know, and go ready. Okay. Oh, there's an LED on that. That's telling me something. Oh, there's a bit bigger LED. Oh, there's a different coloured one on that side. All right. So this is looking, it's looking healthy. Couple of lights, things going on. No smoke. Good. Next one. Let's do this little one here. This also has whatever written on it, even though in the manual it did say you've got to make sure you get it round the right way, but there is nothing to tell me anything. So it's even sideways. I can't go on the red line down business either. So I'm just going to plug it in. See what happens. Nothing. Did I put those on upside down? I think I put the knobs on upside down. That's just superb. Absolutely superb. Well, why don't I just plug the output of here into something. Oh, look, I got a light. I got a light, definitely got some lights down the bottom there, which is a good sign. Yeah, I did. I plugged those in upside down. Oh, well, that's hilarious. Hilarious, I say. Yeah, all right. Something going on with that. Happy with that. Do I have another... I don't know what I do. All right, I'll take that off. Now, this particular one, the stereo amplifier, I'm not entirely sure in what scenario I would use that. I guess it's a bit like the output bus or the pedal, the pedal thing, in order to get stuff from the outside onto the inside, so I could bring in like a little synth or something like that. But that's not something I'm doing at the moment, so I'm not going to focus that one particularly, other than to say it was done. It seems to light up. That's fine. The filter and the oscillator, yes, far more interested in that. So let's try the Tabor, the Tabby, and see if that lights up. Yeah, it seems to. See, it's odd. I saw this sort of colouring on the website. I just assumed it was part of the front panel, not that it's actually part of the colour of the LEDs behind. So that's quite interesting. Okay, cool. So lights on, no smoke. So I think we should carry on forward and see what sort of sound it makes. If that's not too scary. Now this is just an interesting comment actually. Because of the lack of front panel, these patch sockets are proud of the front, and actually they do get in the way of simple things like trying to screw the thing in that you don't get normally with other things. At the moment I haven't looked at the manual or anything. I'm just going to see if I can work out what happens. No, that doesn't seem very likely. Right, let's take a cable. So if I've got an output, I need something slightly longer. Okay. So I've got my Pony VCO here. That's the output of that. So what are we going to get here? Now, of course, I could open the manual. That might be a good thing. I seem to have got lots of interesting bits. Well, so far, nothing that actually makes sound. Right, so at this point, it might be good to check the old how to use it sort of manual. There's an analog, chaotic source based on unpredictability to create complex rhythmic textures and tame them with external CV. Explore things. You can use it with oscillators, as resonators, lush reverbs. Okay. How? The principle behind is a transistor reverse avalanche effect. The result of FM cross-modulation of the whole sound engine is chaotic. Each oscillator is identified with its colour and acts differently in relation to the others. Oscillator 1 is green. Alright. Green where? Oscillator 2 is yellow. Oscillator 3 is red. Oscillator 4 is orange. Right. No, I mean not right. I don't... What am I supposed to know? Main audio signal straight out of the oscillators is NM. NM. NM? Is that this one? Is that the main output? NM. Okay. Well, that's scorching. Thank you for that. CV inputs on all parameters. Star of input to restrict amount of power. Colour-coded LEDs to give you clear visual reference for the state of each oscillator. What? Okay. Well, look. I mean, I've got a Batumi here, which can give me modulation. Maybe the point is going to be to modulate it. So let's take a sine output. Plug that into something. Right, well at this point I have no clue. I mean, I'm modulating it as seems to be sensible. I'm not sure of its purpose at the minute. Let me try and put something else through it. The Tabor, I have no idea. I have no idea what it's supposed to do or what it's supposed to sound like. I'm certainly making some sounds. There's a rhythmic quality to it. I don't understand the access to the 4 oscillators. I don't understand what any of these knobs do. I mean, something happens in response to I've now put a gate and CV and some modulation in. Let's have a look at the filter. Maybe that will give me something within the realms of my understanding. Okay, it's an analog filter and distortion with some added quirks and extra controls. Great, we like that. Now insert an input into arrow in here, okay. And then take the output from either the low pass or the notch. Great, alright, so this is already going far better than before. So let's take the low pass, turn the frequency trimmer, this one, is that the trimmer? Until resonance kicks in. Now just a resonance trimmer to your taste. This procedure is not mandatory. Interact with the touch plates. There's touch plates. Oh, this bit here. Right, alright. This could be interesting. So what are these top bits for? Well, these must be CV control over... Okay, alright. Well, let's plug it in, see what happens. Now the Goblet's really interesting, very interesting. There seems to be a couple of little sweet spots around which it really starts to pull things apart in a really delicious way. It's very much not like a filter that I've come to expect filters to be like at all. It is strange and gnarly, filthy, as they say, definitely. Not entirely sure what I'm doing as far as the input goes. It seems that just a gate input seems to be triggering the filter really well, shaping the filter really well, as opposed to the envelope not quite so much, really. but there's definitely stuff within here which is fun to play with. Gotta feel like everything needs to be kind of up, and there's a point at which it sort of works and then it loses itself. I mean, I'm not modulating it at all, so it's just making its own kind of noise. Otherwise it's finding its own resonance, I guess. It's very weird. You can then add some distortion by pressing on the pads. I think they essentially do the same thing. You've got this button in the middle which overdrives it. I can't explain why it works in some places and doesn't work in others. Alright, that's without any input at all. Nice. Let's put in something from the Tabor just to see if I can get something going. So, unexpected wranglings with these modules this morning. Well, that was fascinating. So, it seems like I can get something out of the Tabor, the Tabor, whatever it is. It's just a matter of stuffing stuff in. What could be simpler than that? So, the Goblet filter, though, that's a whole other thing. Yeah, I think I can get behind that one. I can work my way into it. There seems to be small areas around which you find these bits of controllable reality, if you like, little bits of reality within a mass of other bits of filthiness and grime and weirdness. And yeah, very touchy. I like the accent button, the extra drive, and the touch plates which do stuff. Yeah, I'm not convinced that I've got a lot going on with the whole throw of these very long faders, but hey, there was certainly some awesome sounds to be had in there somewhere. So yeah, fascinating. So Goblet, yeah, definite seal of approval on that one. Tabor, I've no idea. No idea, but it was certainly making some sound. The other one, as I say, is a stereo preamp, which I think could be useful for bringing in synths and other bits and pieces that I don't have going on just at the minute. But I'll stick that on a shelf and have a look at that another time. And I have definitely put those knobs on backwards. But not to worry. But thanks to Jolin Tech for sending these over. Yeah, weirdness. Some people make weird, noisy, glitch crazy modules, and that's all right. That's okay. There's a whole world of people out there who are fascinated by that kind of thing. I find it an interesting place to dip my toes in, but I'm not fully convinced by that whole world myself. I'm a person of light and melody. Yeah, I know something along those sorts of lines. But you can't beat a little bit of growly filter nonsense. That's good everywhere. So there we go. Easy builds, crazy modules. Hope that was helpful. In the meantime, go make some tunes.